Hey, what's going on, guys? Buckeye Gaming back with the second half of that Dallas Cowboys San Francisco 49ers game on my franchise. Now, I listened back to the first video and noticed a couple things. One, I forgot, and I feel like I should mention that I am, after this game, 4-0 on this franchise mode here. I played 3 games before this one, and then I decided to record this one. So I've won all 4 to this point. Another thing is, I listened back on it, and I have a problem with mumbling sometimes. So I think everything was understandable, but I'm going to try to do a better job of enunciating, making sure I don't mumble. So, like the last video, this one, I don't have anything laid out to talk about. Just gonna go off on whatever tangent my mind decides to. I'm got the gameplay playing in front of me here, so maybe I'll do a little bit of commenting on what's happening in game as well. Nothing too interesting yet. I had a good first half. My defense held up. Tony Romo didn't throw any picks. That's good. The running game's been tough. I was told that it was easier to run in this game, and they've added a lot of new mechanics to be able to break tackles and juke defenders and stuff, but it doesn't seem to affect the run game all that much. I still find it kind of difficult to run. Maybe it was just this game. I'm not sure, but it's been tough sledding the past couple games I played running wise. As you can see there, I mean, there was no hole, nowhere to go. Look at me, I'm getting all fired up over there in my pink hoodie, or pink shirt, whatever that is. So, but I don't know what's going on around the league. It has Denver at 0-3. I'm pretty sure, if I remember, the Patriots were at I think they're 1-3 in the league now, or 0-4 even. So the Browns are 2-2. None of these are things that would have ever happened. Well, and as we approach week 3 today, Saturday, so week 3 is tomorrow, and the Patriots are 3-0, and the Browns, I don't think have won yet. I don't know how that whole simulation process actually works, but so that works for me though. No Tom Brady in the playoffs if the Patriots continue to struggle in this franchise. Another thing is I've traded a couple players. Nothing big. I think I traded my backup middle linebacker and a backup defensive end to the Bills in exchange for a cornerback whose name I can't remember now. And I also picked up Cardale Jones just because, I figured why not. Being a Buckeye fan, maybe I can, I don't know, he will probably never see the field. But as you can see there, Zeke, no fumbles on the year. Happy with that. Now that I say that, of course, he's probably going to go and turn a fumble 3 times the next game I play. But we're hopeful. So, other than that, the 49ers, I think they beat the Seahawks beginning of the year. They gave them a good game or something. I can look it up right now, actually. Let me do this real quick so that I don't sound like a complete idiot trying to talk football and not know what in the world I'm talking about. You see, this is where I need to come a little bit more prepared in terms of what am I going to talk about. Let me see here. Okay, so Seattle played Miami week 1, only won 12-10. Who did San Francisco play? They played the Rams. Oh, that's who it was. They played the Rams and beat the Rams 28-0. I knew there was something big about the 49ers win week 1. So, but here they are struggling, as in real life everyone thought they would. As you can see, the time of possession is just completely in my favor. You know, they're not doing much to this point, at least. It's been easy going. Tony Romo has been on it passing. He's made good passes. Even though they say that, I think they say right here that he hasn't been performing up to his last week's performance. Yeah, here we go. They're talking all that crap about Tony Romo. I don't understand where all that's coming from. I thought he had a good game. Jason Witten had a really good game last week too. He's probably the reason we won. I played the Giants and it was 24-21 is what I ended up winning by. It wasn't that close. They scored a last-minute touchdown, but they did kick the onside kick and didn't get it back. If they had gotten it back, then maybe there would have been a little bit more to talk about. But it wasn't that close. I wasn't overly worried about it. But yeah, I also think a problem with this game was that the 49ers called maybe too many blitzes for me to try to run. They kept lining up, showing blitz. So I had to audible out a couple times. I think that might have been an issue with the running game. But it's fine because they, also having an Ohio State running back and Carlos Hyde, they didn't have anything going in the running game either. As you'll see, I think I held him to actual negative yardage. That might have been in the last video though, and then I gave up a couple runs. That right there, that was a beautiful catch. I thought that was picked, to be honest with you. I definitely thought the defender was going to come down with that, and I was pretty nervous about it. But happy with that. Good catch, good throw by Romo. So now I'm up. You can see 17-0, which is good. So the 49ers defense haven't put up much of a fight yet, which is not surprising. Also, Blaine Gabbert actually had a pretty good game this game, though. That was something that I couldn't believe, you know. I don't know how well he's doing this year as far as the actual season is going, but he's had a good game up to this point. I think I didn't see Colin Kaepernick sitting there kneeling on the sideline during the national anthem. So I can't believe that all that's going on right now. It's kind of crazy, you know. You think that if you want to make a difference in things, that there's a better way. I don't want to get preachy here on some touchy issues, but you would think that a man like Colin Kaepernick can take his name and his influence, and not to mention his millions of dollars, and use all that to help the higher risk, impoverished communities like that, where a lot of these bad crimes happen, and not necessarily the police shootings, I guess, but they seem to happen in more. No, they're really everywhere, to be honest. I think it's more bigger cities, but not necessarily those low-income, high-crime rate communities. But, you know, either way, no matter what he's standing up for, I think that would be a lot better idea, you know, if he's making millions of dollars and he's in the NFL. You know, a lot of people know his name, but instead of pissing everyone off and making them not support your cause because you're doing something that they don't like, I don't understand why you wouldn't take your influence and go talk to these young kids in these communities, because they look up to you and that would mean a lot to them. And I think they would get a lot more out of that than you kneeling during the national anthem. That only makes sense to me. Plus, you're making millions of dollars, and I don't see why you couldn't start up maybe a $10,000 a year scholarship fund or something for kids in those communities that want to make it out and go to college, and you can help them go to college. I don't know why we haven't. Why? Well, I know some athletes have, but I don't know why Colin Kaepernick has not seemed to think of this yet. But I feel like that is a much better answer than what he's doing. But then again, I guess he can do whatever he wants. But what I want to talk about more with Colin Kaepernick is what happened with his hair. Now, the last time I saw him, when he was actually a starting quarterback in the NFL, he looked like a nice, normal person. And now he's got like the 70s fro going on and trying to, preach all this stuff. And I think he might have just spent a little too much time in San Francisco. It seems to have gone to his head, most notably his hair. I thought that was hilarious. Now he's got it back in cornrows. It looks a little better. But I was like, dude, I don't think I can take you seriously no matter what you're doing with that afro going on. No wonder you don't start. You can't fit your hair inside your helmet. I mean, I don't know what was going on there. But as for him, he'll probably never start in the NFL again unless Blaine Gabbert gets hurt and he has to take over. His career is probably done. As for Tony Romo, he's out with injury again. I know Dak Prescott, I believe, starting. I know they lost their first game. Didn't see what they did their second game. But I hope Romo can come back healthy. It's horribly ironic that as soon as we came up with the nickname for Hella Bands for him, that it was that week he broke his collarbone last year. That very next game he played, and I can't help but blame Hella Bands for that. But either way, I hope he can come back healthy. He's getting up there in age. I think he's 34, 35, I think. So, I mean, especially with these injuries starting to pile up, he's only looking at a couple more years. I think the Cowboys are improving. If they could keep a healthy Romo, I think they can definitely be playoff contenders. Because right now the NFC East is kind of weak. They don't necessarily have a front runner in that league. After the Washington Redskins did so well last year, a lot of people were looking at them maybe, but they're not doing as well this year. They're not off to that hot of a start. Like I said, neither are the Cowboys with Romo being out. The Giants are hit and miss, but that's every year with Eli Manning. You're never necessarily sure what you're going to get. And then the Eagles, who traded their starting quarterback, how long before the beginning of the season? It wasn't more than a month. Might have even been a week. I don't remember exactly. But, so that's interesting. That's a real interesting league right now. And that's who the Bengals are playing this year. They're playing the whole NFC East. So I'm hoping we can pick up some good wins there. We just lost to the Steelers in a game where I figured we'd lose. So I'm really hoping that we can get something going against them. I mean, we do have like the worst team in the league being the Browns. So if you lose to the Browns at all, I don't know what to say except just fire the entire coaching staff and let's just start over. I mean, you might as well send them to Los Angeles too at that point in time if you lose to the Browns. But what are you going to do? I guess the Rams aren't off to a great start in their debut over in, or their first season back in LA. So that's kind of a shame. They have kind of a good team. They have a great running back, Todd Gurley. Jared Goff looks promising. Not sure what they're doing in way of receivers, but I mean, I think they have some good parts over there. So maybe get stuff going. So maybe in a couple years, they're still a young team, but as long as they can keep Gurley healthy and he doesn't fall off too quickly, I think they should be all right. They'll be in a good position to make a run at it in a couple years. But they're also dealing with the Cardinals now and the Seahawks, so that'll be challenging. But it looks like I'm about out of time. This game is winding down. As you can see, I get the victory. I think it says, well, it does say 17-0. So I will see you guys next video. I hope you enjoyed.